Hello, I am going to be teaching you how to make a bouncing ball today here in Maya. We're going to be using Maya 2018, but you can use any version of Maya. They'll pretty much all work. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is, well, to make a bouncing ball, we're going to need an actual ball. So we're going to come into our poly modeling tab over here and click on this first icon, which is a sphere. So we're going to click on that, and it's going to create a sphere in the center of our world. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to click W, which is going to give us these handles here to move around our object. And we're going to try to line this up with the center, with the floor here. Now, in order to get this more accurate, what we're going to do is we're going to press spacebar, and we're going to go to the side view, which is down here. We're going to press spacebar again. Now we're going to zoom in and try to line that up as best as possible. Great. Once we have this, we are going to move our pivot point. Now to do this, you're going to press D, leave it pressed down, and we're going to move this down to the bottom, try to line it up, and perfect. Once we have that, what that is going to be doing actually is now our pivot point, so our ball is going to be rotating. If we press E to rotate, it's going to be rotating from down here, or if we press R to scale it, it's going to be scaling from the bottom as well, which is going to make things a bit easier further down the road. Now that we have this, we are going to start animating. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to click on our ball and we're going to go to our first frame. Now before we do this, we see that we have a really long timeline here. So we're going to try to simplify this a bit. So since we know that our animation is going to be 20 frames long, we're just going to come over here, type in 20 and press enter, which is going to make this a bit more focused and make it a bit easier for us to read. So once we have that, we're going to go to our first frame and we're going to go W and we're going to move our ball up to wherever we want the top of our bounce to be. So let's say somewhere around there. Looks good. We're going to go to 1 and press S. Now doing this is going to make a keyframe for us, so that's what the red lines means. Now this animation, we're going to want it to loop. So in order to do that, in order to have a looped animation, we need the first frame and the last frame to be exactly identical so that they can just play over and over. So we're going to go to frame 20 and we're going to press S again. So now these two frames are the same. Now to get to the actual bouncing part of this, we're going to go to the middle frame, frame 10, and we're just going to drag this down to the floor, which is down here. Great. We're going to press S and that's going to do a keyframe there. And now if we press play on this, we have, well, sort of an animation going on. It's not really looking too great, but it's a start. Now, to fix this, we're going to move into our graph editor, which is a really, really useful tool for all animators. So we're going to go into our Windows, Animation Editors, Graph Editor, and it's going to bring up this thing called the Graph Editor. And I'm going to move my ball over here to the side so we can see both things. Great. Now, the thing we want to focus on right now is translate Y, which is the one that's moving. So the graph editor basically is showing you the object's movements in lines. So for example, if we go to the first frame, we move this little diamond up, which is the keyframe. If we move it up with the middle click, it's going to move the ball up and down. And so basically it's showing you this animation. If we press F to focus on it, F, it's going to show you how it's going down and up, down and up. Great, so now that we have that kind of established, what we're going to do is we're going to mess around with this movement. So we're going to go to frame 10, we're going to select this little diamond here, and we're going to break the tangent, so we're going to press here. It's going to make these little dotted lines. So what this is doing is, as opposed to this one over here, where if you move this, it's going to move everything together. Here, each one is going to move individually. So we're going to pull up the tangents, trying to get this as flat as possible, but trying not to get it to go over this diamond. We do the same on both sides. Trying to get it there, trying to get them pretty similar looking, and awesome. So now if we go to frame 1 and we press start, this is looking way better. This already kind of looks like a bouncing ball, and to a lot of people this is pretty decent, but we want to try to push it the extra mile. So in order to do that, we need to start using some principles of animation. Now there are 12 principles of animation, but the ones that are going to be important to us here are squash and stretch. Now, squash and stretch are literally what it sounds like. So stretch, stretch, squash, squash, just like that. It's pretty straightforward. But what these are gonna help you do is it's gonna help you bring life to an object, which is animation is all about bringing life to objects. And even if a bouncing ball in real life necessarily doesn't squash and stretch that much, it's best to exaggerate movement and animation to, as I said before, to bring life to it. So let's do that. We're going to minimize that, and we're going to put this in the center. And the first thing we are going to do is we're going to go to our frame number 10 here, and we are going to squash this down because the ball is hitting the ground, so it's being pushed down against the ground. So we're going to squash this. Now, something important to take into account here is that whenever something squashes, right now it looks like it's getting smaller, and it shouldn't do that. Objects should keep their mass even if they're squashing or stretching. So in order to do this, we have to counterbalance it. So we're going to come up here to our channel box or layer editor, and you see the scale Y is the one that we're pushing down. So let's put this at 0.75. Now, in order to keep the mass accurate, what we're going to do is, if we're taking 0.25 away from here, we're going to have to add 0.25 and 0.25 to both of these. So 1.25, 1.25. Great. Now, if we play this, it's going to look a bit weird. So we still have a bit of fixing to do, but it's getting there. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to use our stretch. So when the ball is falling, gravity is pulling it down towards the ground. So it should be stretching towards the ground because of this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the opposite. We're going to go on frame 9. So we're going to put a keyframe there and frame 11 to just kind of block them off. Now we're going to grab all of these and just put 1 into them. To type 1 in, press enter to just kind of clear that out. Now we're going to go to frame 9, and what we're going to do is we're stretching it. So now we're going to add 0.25 to this, so 1.25. And to counterbalance that, like we said before, we're going to subtract 0.25 to both of these. So minus 0.25. Awesome. Now we need to copy this frame over to this one. In order to do that, you're going to middle mouse click on the 9, drag it over to 11, then let go, and then you're going to press S. And what that's doing is it's copying over the frames. So great, if we press play on that, it's still looking a bit wonky, but it's getting there. So next thing we're going to have to do is we're going to go here, and we're going to play around with the position of the ball. So this one, it's going pretty fast, so it should be lower. Right now it looks all a bit even paced. So let's mess around with that. So if we go to 9, let's try to lower this a bit closer to the ground. So this goes pretty close actually. So let's make it a bit high, and awesome. Now we're going to go to 11. We're going to push this down also a bit, not as much as the other ones, but still, because there it's like shooting up. Awesome. Once we have that, we are going to open up our graph editor again. And right now it's looking a bit wonky, so we're going to try to fix that. So we're going to go in here, make sure these 3 have the split tangents. And we're going to try to make this look a bit prettier. It's looking a bit wonky now. So like this, move these around. And now we're going to try to get that curve going on again. So pull this up, pull this up. Great. So now if we play this, it's looking way better. Now, just for a finishing touch, so you see up here when it's going down, it's already starting to stretch, but it shouldn't be stretching. It's not really moving much. So we're going to go here into frame 5, and we're going to go into the scales and just press 1. And then we're going to go over here in frame 15, go into the scales again, and just press 1 again. And that should make a bit more sense because it's not stretching up there anymore. And now if we play that, we have our bouncing ball. I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you for joining me today.